Good morning.
Hello.
Good
We
morning.
are so pleased to have the fabulous Elizabeth O'Roark with us today. Congratulations. It's your release day. We're so
Thank you.
excited. I created this little background as an homage to your cover, which is just gorgeous. It seems
Thank you.
it's hopefully coming up. We noticed just before we went live that there was some interesting. Okay, there we are. Finally, things are on a lag for some reason. I don't know why, and we're all East Coast, so I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't know. We've had a lot of rain, but it's over now, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's things will be better.
B, did you get the
Yeah.
picture I sent you this morning?
Are you talking about the amazing one with the candle and the background?
Yeah. I
Yes!
also posted. I posted it to Instagram and I tagged both of you. But I also sent you a copy. So if you wanted to show it without the extra Instagram stuff, you could.
Oh, wonderful! Yes,
Just
I
wanted
would
to
love
make
that.
sure you had it. So
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Yes, I will definitely do that. Okie dokie. Well, good morning, Wyoming and silly. I'll remove this so we don't cover sock. Good morning, Paige. We have more friends that have joined us that haven't said good morning, but we're saying good morning unless you're in Europe, as many of our friends are, in which case, good afternoon. We're so happy that you could join us. And as I mentioned, we have the fabulous Elizabeth O'Roark with us today. It's like one of my bucket list things to get a chance to chat with you. I have read so many of your works and I'm such a huge fan and was so grateful when you agreed to join us this morning.
Fun. Thank
I
you.
will confess to slight confusion over the whole Elle O'Roark, Elizabeth O'Roark.
I was told by like
Yeah.
some marketing person that I should have a different pen name for the paranormal. And
Oh.
I totally regret having done it because then people are always like, "Oh, I didn't know that was you," and I'm like, yeah.
Well, now I do. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's fine. So
Yeah.
That's
now
what
I
people
know.
do.
And
I mean, how many authors have we even spoken to that have different names for different subgenres of romance or genres in general?
and also social media. I'm Sock Marionette, but I'm also Bargain Counter Argument. And this will shock everybody to know those are not the names that are on my passport.
Really?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Just shocked. I can't believe it.
I know.
Well, Elizabeth, do tell us, how are you feeling about release day today? How's it going so far?
Okay, to be perfectly honest, I'm getting ready to send my my 20-year-old daughter to France tomorrow for the summer. And yeah, so I am like, this is the first time in my life where release day is just like, because trying to like get this kid packed and like she's like, oh, I forgot to reorder my medicine. Like it's that because she's, she just turned 20 a week ago. So yeah, so I barely think this is the only time all day that I will be thinking about release. And she's going to be there for most of the summer and she can only bring one suitcase. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So
oh my gosh. Yeah. How does one? Yeah, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Is she excited?
Yeah, I think she's nervous, but she's excited. So
oh my god.
I think packing for an entire season is in some ways easier than packing for like a week because you're going to get to a laundromat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Whereas when you're only going for a week, you're like, well, I don't want to spend any of my week at a laundromat. So I got to make sure I have enough of everything.
That's true.
I think sometimes it's actually a little easier.
Good point. Well, I'm just so thrilled. I know we want to talk about this today. I would love to start, if you don't mind, at the very beginning. What made you want to become an author?
You know what? I wanted to be an author when I was like 5. And I even have like somewhere, I even have a journal that I tried to write my first book when I was like 6 or 7. So it was what I always wanted to do. But, back in like when I was in college, you didn't just be like, you couldn't publish your own stuff, right? You had to like go to publishing houses and it was this whole kind of crapshoot. And it just seemed like such a long shot that I majored in journalism instead. Because it was like, clearly authoring is never going to happen for me. So I'll just do this other thing instead. And then indie publishing came out and it all worked out. So
I love that. I love that. So it's funny. We talk about this with many of our authors. A lot of the authors that we get a chance to chat with are indie authors. Not all,
right.
But many of them really enjoy the freedom that comes with being an indie author. And of course, and I want to hear from you. But another thing that we've heard, many of our historical romance author friends, their contracts are not being picked up by major publishing houses just because of, right now I think it's more about fantasy and,
Right.
they're just it's a business, unfortunately. We've talked about this ad nauseum, believe me. Um, but many of them are really excited about the prospect of venturing further into indie. And what has your experience been with doing indie?
I mean, my experience has been great. I mean, it doesn't always work out like that, right? Like, I think that the when they look at percentages of people who like attempt to publish a book versus people who make a living, it's like it ends up not working out for a lot of people. And so I got very, very lucky. And I got lucky that I started when I did, because I was in 2013 and the market wasn't flooded. So it was a little easier to like get your name out there back then, I think. But yeah, so it's been really good. Now it hasn't been announced yet, but I've got my first trad deal.
Oh,
Yeah,
congratulations.
experiencing the other side of it. So
That's going to be so neat for you to get to experience.
yeah,
Oh, I love it. How wonderful. Well,
Maybe,
congratulations. And
hopefully
we're
you'll
gonna
love
be
it.
for it.
If not,
Yeah.
you always know the other way to go.
right.
That's true.
So far, it's been great. So yeah.
Good. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy. So take us through your journey to publishing your first book.
So actually I knew I was going to be getting a divorce, and I was going to have 3 really, really small kids. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be working full time, and I'm going to be a single mom to 3 kids. And this is the only time, if I'm ever going to write a book, I better get it done like super fast. So I wrote Undertow really fast. I think I started it in May and I published it in August. And it was just kind of like this is the last gasp, right? This is my last shot at it. And it ended up doing pretty well.
Wow. That's fantastic. And I see you've got a newer cover here. And here's I guess, is this the original? I know covers change so much. I wouldn't say original.
There have been a couple different iterations, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just gorgeous. I mean, both of them. So gripping. I love it so much. Do you have now, because we love to look at covers. Can we look at some of your other covers from some of your very popular works?
The funny thing is, this picture of Andrew Biernot that was on the Undertow cover, that was originally a picture that I used on the old Across Time cover.
Stop.
Yeah, but then I had to change over the covers for the parallel series. So I was like, but I love this picture of him. It's so good. So yeah.
So wait, okay. Now this is going to show how much these books have stayed in my brain.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be Henry?
See,
because I haven't read these in years.
This is Henri, and he's
that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Because he's
terrible
French.
with French.
No, it's fine. But this picture, the original picture was vintage. It was against like a vintage car, and he's not in a black tank top, and it's very like it. I know right there it doesn't. And he's got the tattoo and all that, but in the original thing, he does look like somebody who could be from the 1930s. So,
well, I would like to point out something though. And maybe it's just because I'm not wearing my reading glasses, but I think I'm a sufficient distance here. That tank top looks like one of those old-timey bathing suits that dudes in the 20s would wear, and he's got a C in the background. So, I can kind of see that, maybe with a slightly different hairstyle and either full beard or no beard, as opposed to the stubble, that 5 o'clock shadow in between. But yeah, I could totally see that, even if he,
yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, and we have to talk about your parallel series. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's look at some of your other covers too, because one of your most popular series.
Yes.
Everybody, the Grumpy Devil series. Now, these are the new covers, right?
Yeah. And now they're coming out with Entangled now. Entangled picked up the print rights. So I'm going to be touring with them next month. And The Deal with the Devil comes out, and it's got these gorgeous sprayed edges. It's beautiful. What they've done with it. And then they're going to have sprayed edges for all the covers that line up and make like a scene. So
oh my gosh, so exciting. So exciting. It's funny. And I asked you ahead of time just to make sure you didn't mind. But these are the covers on the left are the ones that I have seen the most. And so I just wanted to make sure that everyone out there was aware that this is the same incredible series that everyone's fallen in love with. And now we have brand new covers with sprayed edges. Oh my gosh.
So that was my next question.
Yeah.
Are the edges sprayed?
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you know what they're going to look like? Are they going to be a particular color, like a bright color?
I actually I have copies in the house. I wish that I had that right next to me. I could grab one.
Oh.
It's like a scene. It's like a city scene. It's really pretty.
Oh, wow. Oh,
The
that's
skyline. Yeah.
oh, I
And
love
when
it.
are those going to be available for purchase?
The Deal with the Devil releases on June 10th.
Okay.
June 10th. Okay, it's coming. It is
I'm
coming
very excited.
up.
It's gonna be the first time I've ever seen my books in Target. I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh. Perfect for summer. Anybody that was looking for those summer beachy reads.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of,
wonder though, I have a question about that is as a reader, when I see a book that says 20% off, I'm like, yes. As a writer, when you see a sticker that says 20% off, are you like, nuts?
No, I mean, honestly, like the thing is that when I don't, that doesn't bother me. The one thing that bothers me is actually like I sold my print rights in the UK and then people started posting. I think that they have a place called The Works where you can get books like at a steep discount. And I think that it was like it was a marketing thing and it probably made sense to like get my name out there for the company that picked me up. But I would see people posting like, I had 3 of these books for $5. And I was like, what?
oh, that would be frustrating.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
hopefully your royalties are not affected by those kinds of discounts, but
no, they are. So
okay.
Oh no.
yeah.
That
Dang,
reminds me.
I will never buy a discount book again.
No, I mean the thing is that I think that it's all at scale, right? So if you're selling way more books that way, then it all works out.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. These covers are so cute. They are so cute. They are so cute. It reminds me of in a certain, not the monetary or financial aspect, but authors who spend about a year writing a book. It comes out in the spring. Their readers read it in one night, and then they go, "When's the next one?"
That's the funny thing. Like you put you like work these crazy hours trying to get this book ready, and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you finally get it out, and everybody's like, okay. And you're like, wait, no. It's kind of like when you cook Thanksgiving dinner and it's, know, and you spent like 5 days getting ready and then it was done in 10 minutes and you're like, oh, no. We're not done already.
This is the one I always feel bad about because the way my brain works, when I read an account of like a sword fight or some serious swashbuckling, my brain can't really translate that into comprehensible action. I can't figure out who's doing what. And so I just skip to the end to see who won.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, and as a writer, when I write, I mostly write fan fiction and nonfiction, but when I'm writing fan fiction and there has to be, I work so hard to get the blocking right on these fight scenes and everything. And it's such a pain in the neck. And I'm like, and I know that as a reader, I just skip right past them. And when I skip past them in a book, I'm like, I know they probably worked really hard to get this scene right. And I'm just blipping past it. And it's just like, well, it has to be there though. It has to be explicitly described.
Well, and
you can't just say there was a fight. It was awesome. And then this one dude won. You can't do that, even though that's the takeaway I get as a reader.
For every person who skips past, there's a person who would be like, hey, there's writing you like, hey, his hand was on her right hip. And then, but how is his hand? Like there's like a significant percentage of people who are like,
exactly.
They're Barbie dolls and they're like testing.
Yeah. And you're trying to block it out. And yeah.
Oh, it's so, yeah. Oh, readers, they're so fun.
And then you're desperate. You don't have Barbies. You have like Raggedy Ann dolls or something. And you're like, oh, this works fine. And then you realize Raggedy Ann dolls, everything bends backward, forward, in all these ways the human body does not.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Wait a minute, they can't do
great
that.
metaphor. There you go. Yeah, it reminds we've spoken to historical romance authors that have done their due diligence and studied the history, for example, of train. Who were we talking to the other day, Sock? Do you remember she was talking about train times?
Annie Armin.
And how like she had to make sure that the train would have gone from here to here in this number of hours or days.
Yeah.
And I thought, who is checking that? And then there are people checking.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So wow, I love it. Okay, so I can't wait any longer. I'm just too excited. Let's talk about My favorite bad decision. What can you tell us about the book that has come out today?
Yes. So Kit and Miller are both, unbeknownst to each other, they are both climbing Kilimanjaro on the same tour. And there's only 8 people on this tour, so they kind of can't get away from each other. Miller dated Kit's older sister a decade prior and dumped her by text. So he is persona non grata to Kit. And her sister has always kind of remained a little obsessed with Miller and always felt like he was the one who got away. And also, like, the family sort of blames Kit because she was constantly like driving people off. She was driving off her mother's horrible ex-boyfriend. She was driving off anyone she didn't trust for her sister. And so they've kind of blamed Kit all along for the fact that Miller took off from this beach trip that they were all on and dumped her older sister by text. And so they start off, they are at each other's throats. But as the trip progresses, it comes out that not at all as it seemed when he left.
Oh.
Can I just say something quickly?
Please say something, but you have to do it quickly. Yes, please.
It's a really good book. You should read it. I read it this morning and it was really good. And, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it
I'm
so
done.
much. Yeah. So how did you get the idea to write this?
Honestly, because I was researching climbing Kilimanjaro. I was supposed to have done it with an ex-boyfriend of mine a couple years ago, and then family stuff got in the way and I didn't do it. So I was researching doing it again, and I was watching all these videos on YouTube and I was getting all into it. But it's like a process with the training and the time it takes to do it and to get over there, and I would be away from my kids. And so while I was doing all this research, I was like, wow, this would be a great book. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So are you still, after writing this, I know I'm assuming that you'll have to tell me, but as a writer, do you feel like you've somehow done it now?
Oh man, I have done this trip. I have no desire to climb Kilimanjaro now.
I was just going to ask. Oh, goodness.
I think I've done it a couple times, right? Because I've read this book so many times and, just the writing of it. And I'm like, oh.
Well, while I was reading it, I was wondering if you'd actually done it because it was very evocative.
Well, thank you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so evocative that now I have no desire to climb Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Either.
I mean, I've done a lot of climbing and I've done a lot of backpacking, so I didn't go in fully blind. But yeah, I'm too old.
I think maybe like Mount Fuji is more my speed.
Yeah.
There you go. What's a mountain that you've climbed that you enjoyed?
I really liked the Kalalau Trail in Kauai, which I wrote about in The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea. That's a really, really great hike. So that was one of my favorites. And then I just used to do a lot of backpacking, like in North Carolina. So yeah.
Okay, that's not it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, I have it.
Yeah.
There we are. Well, that is really neat. I love that.
It's actually, considered one of the, I haven't done the full trek on that, but it's considered one of the most dangerous hikes in the world. One of the 10 most dangerous hikes in the world. Because so many people plummet off the side. You're like on a cliff face. And and there's parts where you're just like hugging the wall. So I haven't done like the really, really deadly part, but it's easy to see when you do it. It's easy to see how people don't make it all the way.
Is there a kissing wall?
It's basically, I think it's like they call that thing the Bronco Wall. They call and Kilimanjaro, they call it the kissing wall because you're so close. I think that that's got nothing on the Kalalau Trail in Kauai.
Well, I'm thinking like it's kissing wall as in kiss your butt goodbye.
Oh yeah,
that's another way to phrase it.
I know, but I know Kilimanjaro is kissing because you're so smushed up against
the wall. But yeah.
Wow. That's fascinating. Oh my gosh. Okay, so who would you say are your greatest influences?
I was thinking about this. I don't know if there's anyone in particular. I will say that that I've taken a lot from like reading like I like the way that Christina Lauren the way that they don't always adhere to they adhere to story structure, but they are kind of free with their word use, and they'll like kind of make up a word, or they do really interesting stuff like during their like sex scenes. They'll have like an entire thing italicized. It's internal. Like they do interesting stuff that other authors don't do. So I think I have taken away. I felt like a little more free to just be like, you know what? I'm going to make up a word. You know what? I'm going to whatever. So
Mhm.
and then also Sally Thorne, who wrote The Hating Game. That's one of my favorite books.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she does really interesting stuff with her sentence structure where you're like, when I'm writing now, I'll be like, well, I can't say it this way because, and then I'm like, wait a minute, Sally Thorne does it. Sure, I can do like a really short sentence. So, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I love that.
I
I had
have a question about that though.
Yeah.
Do you find that because you went to journalism school, which is teaching a very specific kind of writing, do you find it's kind of hard to get past that for writing fiction? Like reminding yourself that this is not, I'm not writing a factual account. I can do these things if I want.
You know, it's been so long since I was in college and since I wrote for
I
like
hear
a paper,
that.
yeah, since I wrote for a paper that I've done this longer than I ever was a journalist. So yeah. So now it
But yeah,
doesn't.
because I mean, with journalism, that you can't really play around too much with language because you want to make sure that you're, covering the story accurately. But
Yeah.
in
No,
fiction, you have more latitude.
that part hasn't gotten. The one thing it's taken me a while to come around to is, as an author, you know, you're supposed to follow the Chicago manual style, and journalists follow the AP style guide. And for like the first 5-6 years of my career, no matter what an editor said, I was like, no, I am not doing that with my numbers, like following these AP rules. I was like, that's ridiculous. And like no Oxford comma. And like I finally started to like, but like these editors would go through painstaking, like correcting me, and I'd be like, nope, nope, nope. I refuse. And now I'm finally getting into it. Yeah.
You're a rebel.
I love it. I love it. I had a chance to read Sally Thorne's Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her
I
Mash.
loved that book. That was so good.
So different, so interesting. Clearly, I say clearly, I should never say because then I'm happy for you always to prove me wrong. But it seems like you're primarily known as a contemporary romance author, but is that what you prefer? Because I know you've also written the most incredible paranormal series that I definitely want to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
primarily contemporary, but yeah, I did do this one series. So
Okay, now I have to ask, how did you get the idea to write this?
I honestly have no idea. I've told the story before, but I was walking to Target. I was walking to Target in the middle of summer and I was listening to this song and I just had this like one little idea and I didn't know where it was going to go and I didn't know it was going to be about time travel, but it was just about somebody who, and I think it was a different situation, but like a girl who was laying in her bed in her dorm and dreamed that she was in another time. And I didn't know at the time that it was going to be time travel. I didn't know any of the stuff. I just had this one scene that I didn't even end up using in the book. But I was so excited about it that I'd gotten like a mile from my house. I turned right around, went home and wrote it out. And yeah, that's how it started. Yeah.
I tell you what, I read all of these in one summer and it was just, they're magical. They're incredible. I tend to veer away from things that are too emotionally robust or like have a lot of trigger warnings. This, I don't care. Like, it was so ridiculously gripping, enthralling. Many people, I mean, I've recommended this to everyone, as I'm sure everyone who's read these has. But many people aren't aware of the wedding, the short
Oh
story.
yeah. Huh.
And so for anyone that isn't aware, people can go on your website, correct? And then find the bonus content.
Yeah.
Your website's fantastic, by the way. You've got a lot of bonus content on
Oh yeah. Thank
there.
you. And there's another bonus after Across Eternity, the island. So there's 2 bonuses for this series.
I wonder if I read that one. I hope I did. I'm gonna have to. It even seemed like it was teasing the potential for more books in the series, maybe, or maybe I'm misremembering. It could be my own brain wanting that to have been the case. Do you ever
Yeah.
feel like you might revisit this?
Yeah, I definitely want to write the twins book, and I've got like 20 or 30,000 words written of it. It's just it's like a timing issue because yeah. So
I mean, you're busy getting your kids to France.
well, there's that.
There's something though, is I don't know if it's just because I read them so quickly. I read Parallel last night, got a good night's sleep, and then read my favorite
Bad Decision.
I want to call it my favorite, but I did notice it. I don't know how else to phrase this, but I did notice that there are certain kind of parallels between those 2 books. And not in tone, but in sort of like the issues that the female main character is dealing with in each book.
Huh.
It's just that it's much more lighthearted, I think, in My Favorite Bad Decision. But the idea of being a people pleaser and being like protective of your family to the point where you're giving up of yourself a
True.
little too
Yeah.
much. So I really kind of appreciated that through line. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, or if I'm just like, because
No.
of the way I read them, that stood out
Yeah,
to me.
no,
But
you're right. And I don't think I think those are the only two books I've written that, and it's a similar situation in that she's either about to marry
Yeah.
or about to get engaged to the wrong guy. And
Mhm.
there's someone else.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like the family dynamics and
Mm,
everything, and the,
yeah.
you know, I got to do everything for everybody else.
Yeah. And that's
I
probably
want to
more
protect their happiness, but I don't see my own happiness as being worth protecting. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to make a slide for one, and I don't think I did. Man, I'm mad at myself. So one thing I do want to talk about additionally is more bonus content that you have on your website, in part because many of us are doing a readathon called the Ever After Readathon,
Oh,
and Sock and I and many others are part of Team Traveler, which is focused on time travel. And I couldn't help but notice that you have a novella or short story about time travel called Priest.
well, it's part of the Parallel series.
It is.
Yeah, it's Marie Therese, Henri's sister, and her
Yes.
relationship with the hot priest.
Stop it. Oh my gosh, how did I not know? Okay, well, I think I have to go and read now. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, we've been talking about, of course, again, it's given me another opportunity to go on and on about these, the parallel series, because I've just and just love it so much. But when I saw that was time travel too, I was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. So many people are reading this series for the time travel elements, which is wonderful.
And
Well, I
actually, I
want
gotta say that the next book in the favorite series is about
yes.
his older sister, Marin. And Jen, who manages the Parallel Series Spoiler Room on Facebook, is currently reading it. And she wrote me yesterday and she was like, oh my gosh, this is giving me such parallel vibes. So so it definitely has like a little bit of a ghost story to it. So and that's the first, she reads all of my books. I've written 20 books now and she's read all of them. And it's the first time she's said that since the series came out. So
Oh my heavens, this is so exciting. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, how wonderful. Okay, well, we just need to get this book today. I
yes.
just need to get it today. I tell you
do
what.
it, do it.
Oh, you twist my arm. I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled. So okay, we've been talking a little bit about this here and there. What would you say resonates most with your audience?
In what respect? Like,
So for example, like if you're doing a book signing or people that message you on Instagram, is there something that you feel like you
oh,
hear back from them more often about particular characters or certain events that have happened, or something that particularly touched them, made them excited, that had them sharing, your books with other people that their friends and family? Is there something
oh,
that you hear? Are you I know you probably hear all different kinds of things, but if there's anything that comes to mind, something that you hear frequently.
I think the thing I hear about most frequently is that people seem to like my male main characters.
Oh.
I think they seem to like the very protective aspect. So
Mhm.
I do hear that a
Mhm.
lot, but I don't know if I hear anything like, because my books are really different, right? Like the Devil
Yes.
series is kind of lighter and funnier, and then the Summer series is very angsty,
Yeah.
and then I've got a time travel series, so it's
Right.
also different. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's actually really fascinating. So you've got a different camp probably, or no, let me ask this question because I'm saying things I'm making up them. Would you say that you have a core audience that reads everything of yours, or do you feel like, okay, because I was
Yeah.
going to say, like, if you had people that are like, these are my people that read this, and then I've got the people that only read this. Okay, that's fascinating because they just love your style, I
I
think. So
mean, I
that's
think that there are a lot of people who are just happy to read anything, right? Like I mean, I'll read a vampire book, I'll read time travel, I'll read historical, and then there are people who are like never. So
True. I love it. If you were to write in another genre,
Uh-huh.
what would it be?
Well, and actually I've already written them, but I haven't published them. Vampires. So yeah.
Now, is that something was that just for you, or are you planning to publish at some point?
No, I'm definitely going to publish it. I wrote the first 2 books like a couple years ago, and I just haven't had time to edit them because I was doing the summer series and this series, and I've got these 2 trad books that are coming out. So, but eventually I'm going to get around to editing them, and then, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're a busy lady. Oh my gosh. Okay. What about this is another one of my favorite ones. What would you say makes a great story?
I think a ticking clock, which is like a well-known, like for writers, it's a well-known thing, but it's just like there's got to be a point, like an end point, so that the readers feel that tension. Like in this book, obviously, the ticking clock is A, she's about to get engaged to someone else, and B, this climb that they're on is going to end, and they're probably never going to see each other again. So as a reader, when it's set up like that, you're like, oh my God, you've got to fix this. But if they've got their entire lives to fix it, you're like, eh. So
I don't want to give a spoiler, but
don't give a
I would
spoiler.
say
Don't give a
there's
spoiler.
more than one ticking clock situation in the book aside from the one you just mentioned. The ones you just mentioned.
So there'll be surprises too. We love a good surprise.
Yes, I thought I knew what was going to happen. I mean, I was happy with what was happening, and I thought, oh, I know what's going to happen next. And that was fine with me because I was enjoying the journey. And then something happened that I was not expecting.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
That was delightful.
Okay.
Fun. So we've talked a little bit about readers with lots of opinions and things like that. Readers who read immediately, books that are on sale for $3 or whatever. What are some other pros? What are some pros and some other cons maybe of being an author, would you say?
It's funny. I feel like all the things that I can think of that are pros, like it's also the con. Like the best thing about being an author, really, I mean, aside from getting to do what you love, is that you set your own hours. But because you're setting your own hours, like in my case, I'm working till midnight every night, and I'm in my bed writing before my kids get up at 6 a.m. And it sort of feels like you're never off. So it's both like a pro and a con.
Interesting. Well said. We've never had that answer before. I love that. But it makes sense.
Yeah, and also similarly, yeah, like you get all these people who are like, oh my gosh, I love this book so much. And then you get these people who are just terrible. So,
that would drive me crazy. I've talked to authors that have been like, I never read the reviews. I don't look at comments, things like that, just for, your own mental health.
Right.
Gosh.
Yeah. But people will email you if they're unhappy, and it's hard to get away from it. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like, I guess you had nothing else to do today. Good for you. So you mentioned that you write up until midnight. You're in your bed before 6 a.m. What else about your writing process? Is there, if you were to do it your favorite way, or like a way that you really love, what would that be like when you're doing it and you're like, oh, I'm not overworking myself?
I don't know. I've never, I always do it in a bad, crazy way. And this book was so easy for me to write versus most. This book I set out, I can admit this now because actually the reviews are good. If the reviews were bad, I wouldn't have admitted this, but I had met with a writing coach, and I had said, the problem I have is that I write really slowly and that I spend so much time editing. And she's like, what if you just didn't? What if you just said that it was probably good enough and you didn't do that? What if you gave yourself a timeline? So I kind of already had this idea in my head, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give myself 30 days. And I normally spend like 6 months. And so I gave myself 30 days, and that was it. And then I was done. So
the ticking clock comes
yes,
back.
Yes. But I worked like insane, 14-hour days for the better part of a month, but I got it done. So
are you including the editing process in that 30 days?
So yeah, I did all of my initial edits, and then I started it on November 17th, and I sent it to my editor on December 20th.
Nice.
So I did have to
then you have to go back, but in terms of making it, to the point where you were satisfied with it. Well,
Yeah.
I would say it does not feel like it was a rush job. And I know what
Good.
you're saying is not that you thought it was a rush job or something like that.
Right.
Right.
But I would say if this is experimenting with a new way of doing things, it was successful.
I don't think I can replicate it. It was just that this book was so easy to write because, like, obviously when you're climbing Kilimanjaro, there's a set order to your days that's already like there, because this is what happens when you climb Kilimanjaro. This is what happens on day 1 and day 2, and this is how the terrain changes. So it was kind of
Well,
already.
and you had already done that research for your
Yeah.
own reasons. So it's been marinating for a while.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it'll never happen again. But yeah, it was good.
Too funny. Paige says, I can't wait to read this one. I loved the summer series, which
Aw,
now I want to go and
thank
reread
you.
as well. So fun. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okie dokie. What I wanted to ask this too. These are some of my favorite questions. What is your favorite book or series? You can choose yours or someone else's.
Okay. I really loved, I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know if I have necessarily a favorite series. I really did love The Discovery of Witches.
Yes.
I don't like the show, but I do like the series,
Okay.
the books.
Neat.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun. I love that. Who is your book boyfriend?
Oh, you know who I loved? Christina Lauren has this book, Sweet Filthy Boy, which it's such a good book. It is such a good book. And she's the male main character is named Ansel Gayam. He's French, and he's the end all be all.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah.
how fun. Okay, I need to pause for a moment. You mentioned he's French. Your daughter is heading to France. You wrote some of Across Time and Across Eternity set in France, not present day. What are your associations with France, or do you have any?
No, I really don't necessarily. I mean, I was in France for about a month when before I wrote before I wrote that series actually. And
Really?
yeah, and because one of my kids was there and I had to be there because he has epilepsy, and the school was like, well, just in case something happens, he has to have a parent there. So I was there. And it was actually a really weird time because it was actually a really awful situation because my mother was sick and
Mm.
she was back I live in DC. She was back in DC and I was stuck in France and I couldn't leave because of my son. So it was like a really hard, weird time where I'd already been to Paris before. And so I didn't feel the need to see anything. So I just kind of spent most of my time just wandering. And I'd already been to the museums and stuff and I didn't really revisit anything. So it was kind of a dark time, but also it was a beautiful time to be there. It was May. And yeah, so that's it. And then my daughter's a French minor. So
Wow. Oh my gosh, neat. So do you speak French?
I speak the worst French ever. And in fact, the first time I went to France, I tried to speak French and the waiter was like, I'll speak English. Your accent's atrocious. So I've never tried to speak again. But my daughter has a perfect accent. She's been speaking French since she was 3. So
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, she can help you. If you go
yeah,
with her, then she can just talk for you.
exactly.
There you go. Outsource that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Who is your favorite heroine?
Let's see. I really like Diana in A Discovery of Witches. I'm really picky about heroines. I mean, a lot of readers are. Like, it's hard to write a heroine that somebody isn't going to hate on. But Discovery of Witches, she was smart. She had her stuff together. She wasn't a pushover, but she also wasn't a shrew. She was like, she really hit that sweet spot of being like somebody I could respect. And that's the problem I have. I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of times when I just can't respect like the heroine of a book. So
Yeah. I just read a book recently where her terrible character inconsistency. I'm like, what are we doing? We seem fierce at first, and now we're just kind of timid and pass
yeah,
on to the
you
hero.
don't like
And
a heroine who's too timid, but you also don't like one who's just too much of a ball buster or who's too
sure.
like sassy. And
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
so
Then they can almost start to feel like a caricature. really,
Right.
as opposed to a person, you know?
Right. Like it's
Um,
supposed to be, a lot of times the character's supposed to be like, you're supposed to think, oh, she's so funny and quirky, but you're like, no, I would fire you. I would not hire this person. So that's my thing. Like, I wouldn't be friends with you. And if I wouldn't be friends with you, then I don't want to read about you. So
there you go. Yeah,
yeah.
I've definitely seen some quirky that it takes quirky a little too far. Like we
Yeah.
went to we need to turn the volume down on the quirks a
Yeah.
little bit. We like zany, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here comes one of my very favorite questions. It's not even mine. It is Sock's question, and I'm going to see if I can do this. I can do the image file because I saved this while we were talking just now. Sock, would you do us the honor of asking this one?
Okay, my zeal on Instagram is that I pair scented candles with books I read. Well, I do that anyway, but I then try to stage a photograph to show that on Instagram. And so my question is, if I were to light a candle during the reading of My Favorite Bad Decision or any of your other books, what do you think it should be? Or a scent family?
Oh.
Well, whatever. I don't want to you don't have to be like, I think you should take a number 3 from the Bath and Body Works Bridgerton tie-ins and also on the side burn this other one from Barnes and Noble, and that will, just a scent family is fine.
You can be vague. We had, oh, sorry.
The problem I have is it's like most of the climb of Kilimanjaro, it's like desert or Arctic terrain. So I don't know what kind of smell that would have. Like there's no vegetation. So what does that even? It smells like a ski slope. I don't know. Like, you clearly know more about candles than I do, and you just read the book, so maybe you can be the.
Yeah,
this is the one I took was this older it's a discontinued line from Bath and Body Works called Intense Coffee because it's got a tent on the front. It was part of a line that they did that was like the smells of camping.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I was closer to the end than I realized. Oh. And I was like about 20 pages into the book when the candle just went out and I couldn't relight it.
Oh no.
I do have another one that's called like Mountain Air or Fresh Mountain Air. But I wasn't sure if Kilimanjaro was the mountain they had in mind. But anyway, I just liked the cover. I thought this coordinated with the cover of
really well.
Yeah, it's a nice pairing. We love a good pairing.
And the one I picked for parallel, at least for the first book and possibly the second, is called On the Lake.
Let me see.
That makes sense.
I'm getting a lot of reflection from is On the Lake because, of course,
wait. Let me see.
His family's.
Hi. Can I see it again? Ooh, that is pretty. Love it.
And this is the Intense Coffee. You can kind of see a little bit better.
I love that. That is
why I picked that, because the label has a similar vibe to the cover. But I picked On the Lake because I was just like, okay, it seems like this lakeside house is pretty, very important to the story. I mean, right from the jump, you see that seeing the lake kind of triggers her, as it were. So that's what I picked for that one.
I think that's perfect.
We had an author on the other day who was like, I don't do candles. I was like, oh.
Well, she has
about incense and warmers and.
Well, her issue was that she had COVID.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago, but now she's her sense of smell and taste still haven't really come back online. So she's like, yeah,
poor thing.
She's like, you do you, man. But she did come up with a suggestion or two. So that was nice.
She did. Yeah, that was great.
But and she then does candles, but she could still come up with something, whereas I couldn't. So sorry.
No. It's kind of an odd or unusual question. Yeah. So for example, if someone were to ask me that, I would be like, vanilla? I would not know.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, you can just say, well, if you have a baked good, that would be great.
There you go.
Or whatever it is.
I'm so impressed, though. So many times the authors come up with these crazy, I was thinking, man, if you don't make it in writing, you could just become a candle person because that sounded amazing. I don't know where you came up with it. And then, of course, our personal favorite is it sandalwood?
Sandalwood comes out a lot in historical.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because I think it was Annie McEwen was saying, well, sandalwood soap was kind of popularized by Queen Victoria.
Oh, was it?
So of
Okay.
course the
There you
queen
go.
does something, everybody else wants to do it too.
There
So
you go.
Okay.
There you go. So, okay, here comes another question. If you don't know, we can just move on. It's fine because it's sort of just a fun-ish question. If I were to listen to music during the reading of my favorite bad decision, what would it be? And you could even tell me, like, if you listen to anything in particular while writing, this would be
No,
fun.
see, I am one of those people who I can't have any noise at all when I'm working. I can't have
Okay.
any, or when I'm reading. And if like my
Ah,
daughter or one of my kids, I've got 3 kids, but I'm referencing my daughter because she's been the one who's been around the most and getting on my nerves. But she was like listening to like Instagram two rooms over, and I was like, "Can you put your headphones on?" So yeah, I don't listen to anything. I think that maybe like the theme song for this would be like there's a song by Machine Gun Kelly that it's like an enemies kind of thing that would work. But yeah, I don't know.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a theme song. We love it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love that?
well, I know you did bring up, I think it was it in parallel? See, of course, now they're getting a little mixed up in my head.
Because you've
After
read
I've had a chance to
2 in the
process,
last, like, less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
maybe. I think it was actually, now I'm confused.
Oh yeah, the Foo Fighter song,
No,
Everlong.
well, the Foo Fighters song, but there was
Oh!
1,000 Years.
The what?
1,000 Years by Christina
Oh,
Perry or
that's in
Perez.
this book. Yeah, they slow
Okay,
down.
that was in this book. It was funny
Oh.
because I didn't know that song. And the other day I heard this pretty song on the radio. And when I got home, I Googled the lyrics and it was like, oh, okay. And then it comes up in this book and I'm like, I
Oh,
know what
really?
that song is.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that worked out nicely.
It did.
What would you say is on the horizon for you? Do you have any book signings coming up? Obviously, you've got this release today. You mentioned more coming out this summer. What do we need to know?
So I'm going to be signing in 4 places in June. I'm going to be at the Ripped Bodice in Brooklyn, June 26th. And then unfortunately, I don't remember the dates of the others. I'm going to be at the Flutter Bookstore in Austin. And these are all the week of June 12th, but Flutter Bookstore in Austin, and then Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and then Kansas City. And those are all for the re-release of A Deal with the Devil with its sprayed edges and the whole deal. So
Exciting. Oh,
I don't
I
know,
love it.
but I would, if you have an extra like half day when you're in Brooklyn area, if you wanted to come to Connecticut where I live, I'm always promoting this, and I don't know if anybody ever follows through or if it works out with the owners, but we have Connecticut's first and so far only romance bookstore is the absolutely charming Montgomery and Taggart, which is in the lovely village of Chester, and not too far from my house. And you will see at least one person there if you are able to work it out so that you can go there. It's a lovely
friend of mine
trip.
is in Connecticut, and she sent me pictures of my books in that store.
Get out.
Yes, they do the new releases and they do that every
Yeah.
Tuesday and so on and so forth. But it's a charming store. It's really lovely.
Okay.
In fact,
Isn't that
I think
fun?
I went on a field trip there and they let me film a tour of the store. And I think that was scheduled to go up on my YouTube channel at 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Well, there you go. Excellent.
So
And
anyway, but it's absolutely lovely. The store, the town, it's just really nice.
Oh, I've heard such good things about that area. That's awesome.
From me.
There you go.
It's where I live. It's my home.
There you go. Well, where can we look for you, Elizabeth? On Instagram, YouTube, Facebook? What do you recommend?
Yeah, I'm probably most active on Instagram, but I also have a Facebook group, Elizabeth O'Roark Books. And there's also, for the parallel people, there's a parallel spoiler room where people have done ancestry charts and all kinds of stuff. So
I love it. Oh, how wonderful. Well, I just want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and carving out some time. I know you're going to be super duper busy today, but I'm so thankful that we were able to celebrate your release of your brand new book. And I know we've all got to get a copy now. This is going to be so great. So,
Miss B, I have a question for Miss Elizabeth.
oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have a newsletter?
yes. It's like almost any of the bonuses that you get by subscribing to the newsletter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And there's a link for that. Is there a link for that in the doobly-doo?
It is. Yes. I've got it all linked in my description box. Yes.
Awesome.
We made sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, and we look forward to getting to read this, unless except for Sock, who already read it this morning. And there are your new releases coming up soon this summer. That'll be great. The new versions with the sprayed edges. I can't wait to see them. I'll be going to Target. I can't wait to see.
Thank you so much.
It was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, you guys as well.
And I hope your daughter has a great trip to France.
Thank you.
Bon voyage.
Exactly, yeah.
Paige goes, thank you for joining us. Going to go do some book shopping now for this one. Well, you take care.
Well, it is on
Goodbye.
Kindle Unlimited, so you can instant gratification because it's
There
on
you go.
Kindle Unlimited. So if you have that, you can
There
have some
you go.
instant gratification there.
There you go. She was terrific, wasn't she? I'm so excited.
I
So many
was
good books.
really glad that I wish I had started the parallel books a little bit earlier so that I could have
Yes.
gotten further along. But I
I
was
don't know
also
how you were able to go to sleep after reading Parallel. How did you do that? I would have been up
well,
and reading oh goodness, Intersect. Yeah.
well, I knew that if I could wake up early enough, I could squeak in my favorite bad decision, and that was not a bad decision that I made. It was an excellent decision.
That's great.
I'm fine with
I
that.
love it. Oh my gosh, that's too fun. Well, oh, what? Good night. I'm so glad he didn't do that while we were talking here. What do you want? He's been squirrely. It's been, because of all the rain.
Barkity?
Oh, there you go. Buddy, come here. He has been gnawing on my hand while we were talking because he's full of beans. I'm going to take you out as we go to our sprints. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll have time
Andy.
for a nice 30-minute sprint this morning, maybe even 35 actually.
Well, we could go to the top of the hour, yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be, I'm looking for a fun mountain themed one in honor of Elizabeth O'Roark's new release. Let's see. I think I can find one. They've got all kinds of fun timers, as you know. I don't think I see a fun mountain one.
Well, what about a camping one where they're trying to set up their tents
Ooh,
or something?
yes, a camping one. Okay, let's see here. I've got the boat ones. Let's see. Canoe. No, none of these are what I'm looking for. Not that anyone cares. They're like, what is she doing? Okay. I will say, let's do, this is so silly. Let's do mermaid. And I'm only saying that because my daughter just got an Ariel costume.
Oh,
And she's obsessed. And so our house is all about mermaids right now. And we're going towards summer. So it might be kind of fun. Or people will be
and
like, I don't know.
to entice people, when we come back, with your permission, I have an update.
Oh boy. I'm looking
And
forward to that.
it
Excellent.
is, oh dear, I can't find it. I was just gonna whip this out, as it were. I have an update about the book I can't find it. Oh, here it is. I have an update about regret.
Oh, I just can't wait.
It's a brief update.
Oh boy. Okie doke. All right, everybody. Oh, for Pete's sake, I didn't even share it. It's one of those days. All right.
I
mermaids, ready?
distracted you with the dude.
No. I was so enthralled, so taken with it. Okie dokie. So we have 4 cute old mermaids and a little mer dog who apparently is not participating in the race. You can't choose him, I don't think. But yes, we do have 4 cutie patooties here. I'm going to go with Purple Tail, number 1.
I'm going to go with either number 2 or 3 because they have headgear.
We do love that.
I think I'm going to go with 3 because that looks a little more tiara-like.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Okie doke. All right, let's get
poor
started.
Kristen, she's going to mix it. Oh, okay.
Oh, I know. Oh,
there's the playback.
Yeah, exactly. Number 1. All right, Emily and I. All right, let's do this. And we'll talk when we get back. Oh, this is so cute. Well, that was helpful. Sorry, of course I removed myself. She
Oh,
gets
Blondie won.
and she gets the dog, the little
Is it a
merdog.
dog or a fish or a dogfish?
It's a dogfish.
Bloopity bloopity.
I love it so much. Boopity boop.
I had just gotten to the part in my book where there's only one bed.
Oh, has that ever happened before? I don't know.
What a nut.
Let's sorry.
Hi, everybody. This book is really good. I'm about a little over halfway through, and the more I read it, the more it reminds me of Alexis Hall, and that is a good thing.
Yay!
Yay!
I love it. I love it. Okay,
We can hear Bee, but we can't see her.
The first time I did that, I was like, I wonder if I'm still like on stage. Anyway, you know what? I just realized we got a compliment, or not compliment. We have to say Stacy won. Stacy's a winner this week. So exciting. Love it. So you won a dogfish, apparently, or a merdog. So that's awesome. Okie dokie. Well, Kristen made it back in time. Hello, Kristen. There are so many people, by the way, that I didn't get a chance to say good morning to that it just got away from me. We were just chit-chatting so much. Good morning, Megan, and good morning, Cassandra. Good morning, Josephine, and good morning, Julie. She says, hello, ladies and gents. I'm excited, and I and my partner are going to a dance ball today. How fun! I love it. I love it. Emily is here. Hello. We're so happy to see you. And I think I don't think I missed anybody. I don't want to miss getting a chance to say hello. I hope everybody's doing well. And I'm so grateful that you guys were still able to join us on a Thursday instead of Friday today. I'm so grateful. So yeah. So you did some good reading during the sprint?
Yes, and I filmed a quick clip and then spent forever downloading it or uploading it.
That'll happen. That'll happen. I was excited.
It's like you need to spend 15 minutes just to find out when you watch it whether or not it's usable.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Because it was a lot of like standing and holding the camera and filming other things. And it's like, is this too shaky? I don't know. It's going to take me a while to find out.
That was another thing. It took me a while. I'm still figuring it out when I do book hunts that are just so challenging to film. But one of the challenges is making sure that you're going slowly enough. And so I can't tell you how many times I've gone back and slowed the video down. Even though if I filmed slowly, if I was even cognizant of it while I was filming, it still wasn't slow enough.
Well, there's a time dilation effect when there are other people there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, when I was at Montgomery and Taggart last Friday and filmed my tour, which is now available on Bargain Counter Argument on YouTube. Yay! And when I filmed that, and it's the start of the video, you can watch it's the video called Field Trip. You can watch the whole thing. There's a bakery hall at the end. But if you just want the M&T parts, the Montgomery and Taggart part, it's at the front. But I was there. It was a very rainy day, and I was the only person there aside from the co-owner, Elizabeth. So she let me film. So I talked as I was filming. So I was going at the correct pace. Nice. And then a couple came in to do some shopping, and they were okay if I continued to film because as long as I didn't film them. So I had to edit their feet out. But the other thing is Elizabeth was very accommodating. She's like, I said, do you want to be on camera? And she says, no, I'll just be over here and just let me know if you want me to move or something. And I said, and she says, is there anything else I can do? And I was like, she had a nice playlist going, and I said, to turn off the playlist because that's, I
copyright.
Have Sabrina Carpenter and Chapel Roan in the background, and then the record companies come after me, and it's like because the copyrighted material. So, yeah.
Yes. Did you hear about, I think it's Mr. Beast, who of course is one of the biggest YouTubers around. He did a huge video in which they took a swimming pool and filled it with water beads. I don't know if you're familiar with what those are, but I can't even begin to imagine how much work that was, this from start to finish. And they were making a lot of money. Unfortunately, one of the guys in his video sang several lines from a Bon Jovi song. And so Bon Jovi came to them for money.
And he was like,
take it out.
And his response was, shot to the heart, and you're to blame. You
Yeah.
give Bon Jovi a bad name.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. It sounds like a nightmare for them. I felt so bad. Dee says, "Hi, everyone. I totally forgot about your live today. Glad I made some of it. I will have to watch the replay tonight. We're so happy you're here. Good afternoon, Dee. You changed your profile picture.
I noticed that on Tuesday. She's updated it for spring.
She has. Oh my gosh, Dee. I love that.
Is
How fun.
that still near your house?
Oh, yeah. Good question. Yes, inquiring minds need to know. We need to know.
I do.
Dee. Kristen says, and you're excited to find good. Oh, and you're excited to find good stuff. Talking to you about your field trip. And
Well, and were you at the bookstore when you were trying to film?
Oh,
at the bookstore?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're excited to find good stuff. You might be shaking because of too much coffee. Right. I'll never forget. I did a book hunt once and I was like, I'm looking for Joanna Shoup. What?
The comment from Dee.
That's your driveway. She just lives the life. I'm telling you.
Can I come live in your driveway?
I know. Just the driveway. You can.
I won't
even
even use your restroom. I'll just go to the pub down the street.
Oh, it's beautiful. She could just take pictures of her land and her scenery and her driveway.
She's like, I got a zoom feature on my camera and I am not leaving the house.
Exactly. Why would you? Why would you? Just gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, she says you're so funny.
That's a yes. I'm hearing a yes. I'm hearing an invitation to come live in the driveway.
She's there. She's there.
I do. If we have a chance, I have an update about.
Yes. Oh, I want an update. Yes. Oh, please.
I talked about this on Tuesday, this book.
Yeah.
Regret. And I talked about it in my live stream yesterday. I talked about it in my live stream on Monday. I'm going to be talking about this book to the end of time, I think. I still haven't read it, but I did some more looking into it.
You haven't read it?
Well, it's like by now it's such a big thing in my mind that it can't possibly live up to the expectations. No, what I did was I did a little more research. This is part of a series, and it's one of those bodyguards I'd like to find the time to spend with. And it's called the McIntyre Security Bodyguard series, because McIntyre Security, I guess, is the company they all work for.
That's different.
I thought you saw it all the time.
Well, I mean, the fact that it's like named after a company is unusual.
This is, well, you know, you have like the FBI such and such series. So, you know.
That's true.
Anyway, so this is actually either book 9 or book 11, depending on how you count the interstitials, because there are like a couple of 0.5s, you know, where somebody gets married and they have like a special book just for that. Anyway, of a 17 book series featuring different kinds of couples. There's multicultural couples, meaning, you know, that maybe they're from different races or different ethnic origins.
Yeah.
And there's gay couples. Well, there's male characters. There's a couple of books that are about male characters. This is male-female. I don't know if there are any female. Looking forward to finding out. And she also has the Tyler Jameson series, which is a trilogy, romantic suspense, male. And the covers are all very Tyler Jameson, who's like this gritty ex-cop, and now he's a private detective. He's looking all, you know, stern on the cover. And then there's a duology. I don't know if she's going to write more in that. There's a follow-up duology about that couple, which has cartoon covers, and it's the detective daddies. So it's like after they get through this whole gritty experience and they get together and everything, then they settle down for spend time with. I'd like to find the time to spend with.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after they get into domesticity and they settle down and they have like babies, it's like they still get up to some kind of detective shenanigans. But I thought it was funny because you get the photograph of the guy looking all, you know, haggard and stuff, and then you get like this cartoon cover where they're there with rainbow T-shirts and a diaper bag, and so there's a follow-up. Anyway, all of this stuff, Kindle Unlimited.
Get out. I love it.
I refuse to get out. This is my house.
Well, what about going to Dee's? Are you going to go live in? She said it's okay. You can go live in her parking or her driveway. So there you go. Are there any more interesting titles like Regret that you saw? I have to ask.
Well, I have now decided, I've thought about regret, as have we all.
Of
If
course.
yeah. And I decided that it probably had an exclamation mark after it. They just forgot to put it on there for some reason. Regret. A new fragrance from Calvin Klein. Anyway.
Yes.
Ijatu says she has read them. She's read them. She's read them. Did you read just the Daddy's book or did you read the other books?
We have to
I
know.
need to know. I need to know. She has already explored this land.
Yes.
Anyway,
I love it.
Meanwhile, while she's formulating a response, hopefully, most of them have the first 10 books, 9 or 10 books have one word titles, except the interstitial ones, because that's like, so you know that they are like extra bonus stuff.
Did you see
Kristen Lee, what do you think?
Kristen.
This series is my new boyfriend. I haven't even read a single word. And no, I do not regret this. I don't know if it's perfect for fans of Bridgerton, but it's certainly perfect for fans of something or other. Yep. Anyhow, so
I love it.
So regret, and I think the first book of the entire series is called Vulnerable, which I am imagining with an exclamation mark. Vulnerable. She says no.
I think you asked if she loved them all. Maybe?
No, I asked if she'd read the Tyler Jameson series that preceded it, and how did she feel about Detective? Yes, I think that's what the no is too. Because if it's the Detective Daddies was terrible, I would be like, oh no.
Yeah, that would be sad.
So anyway, Ijatu, if you want to update about like Detective Daddies that you did read,
there you go.
Because she said she has seen them and read them, which suggests that she liked the first one enough to read the second one.
Yeah.
But I am just importing my own assumptions to Ijatu, and that's not fair.
She will clear it up. She will clear it up.
She says, I have read all.
She's read all. All. Yeah.
Where did she find it? Okay.
Well, you just read 2 books in like 12 hours, so it can happen. It can be done.
It can. I hope. Well, if she's read all, then it must be good. Otherwise, she would have been like, yes, I read, 25% of one, and that.
Right. And then I decided to read all the rest of them. Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited because this is why I frequently will buy these books without, like, even the ones I think I might find at the library or something like that. I didn't think I would because this looked like it was self-published, but it's I will buy it and then I'll come home and see that it's available on Kindle Unlimited, and I will be not sorry that I bought it, because I really like reading physical books, but also if I hadn't seen this book, it never would have occurred to me to look for it. And it sounds like maybe I'm in for a wild good time when I start reading April Wilson's work.
Yes, I think so.
So, but not until after the Ever Afterathon.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you got to prioritize. I wanted to celebrate a couple things really quickly before we talk about our new releases. I do have some visiting authors who've created some videos for us this morning. But I wanted to take a moment to celebrate the fact that it's taking a while again. I don't know, what is the deal with the internet today? It's processing. Oh, okay, there we are finally. So Stacy Hoffman, the gal that just keeps winning, she just upgraded her membership. She is now a queen bee. Thank you very much, Stacy, from the bottom of my heart. So excited to share all the bonus content and perks with you, especially this summer.
Just in time for the passport. I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Because in your video about the passport,
yes,
you were saying that you were perfectly fine with people who wanted to just become members for, the duration.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, you didn't explicitly say this, but I was also thinking that people might want to upgrade to get the bonuses during the summer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you upgrade and then you decide there's not room in your budget to stay in that upgrade, you can always drop it back down again once you have enjoyed the project.
That's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes. Smart. We also have a brand new member, a beloved reader, Amy R. Thaxton. We're so glad you joined us just in time for the summer. So we love it. Oh, and Ajatu has an update. April Wilson.
Yes, she
is
says
fun.
April Wilson is fun. Great. Thank you so much. Merci bien.
Yay. Awesome. Okie dokie. We also want to talk about our new releases. As always, if you see a title that you would like to know more about that isn't expressly talked about by the author herself, then let us know in the comments by typing in the title or part of the title. We'll read the summary for you. So this is Silver and Gray. I'm assuming that's the series Ghost in the Garden by
Oh,
Mary Lancaster. And you can see the
that
ghost.
that is so beautiful. I thought it was just like Spanish moss or something, but oh yeah, that's really beautiful.
Isn't that neat?
Well, I got to get.
Yeah.
That's
And I
beautiful.
love her dress.
I
It's
love
so
those
funny.
colors.
I
It's
know.
it's just beautiful.
I love it so much. I love these covers. And the flowers. You'll see another cover that's very similar in terms of like color family.
Mhm.
That's also put out by Dragon Blade within like a couple weeks of this one. So you'll see this
Nice.
one in a minute. But yes, so this is Ghost in the Garden. We also have Anna Todd I know some of you are Anna Todd fans. The Last Sunrise has just come out, I believe. I think most of these are my last of the April releases I hadn't had a chance to celebrate. So that's what we're doing. Oh, Emily says purple is my favorite cover. Oh my heavens. Color. So this cover is extra pretty to me. I know, Emily, me too. Purple's my favorite too. I love the purple covers, truly.
I'd like to see if somebody could make a beautiful brown cover, because brown, I think, is a very challenging color to be pretty.
Yes. Well, guess what? I have one to show you this morning by Catherine Levesque. And
Nice.
it's not as brown, but there's a bunch of brown going. Oh, here it is. How funny. I mean, I feel like that's like the base color, or if we're seeing a lot of brown, if anything. And I also feel like this is highlighting his belly button.
Insurrection. So many jokes are occurring to me that I am not. For once, I'm going to withhold my comments.
So this just came out. This is Guard of Six, a medieval romance. Yeah, so there you have it. We also have Give Me a Shot by Gia de Cadenet. I probably pronounced that terribly. I have a feeling it's French, and I'm doing a dreadful job, so I apologize. But this looks kind of
You
fun.
did a great job if it's French. If it's Italian, though.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, that would not be good.
I'm getting Renaissance fair off of this.
Yes. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yes, and I love that they look like they're enemies too. So this might be an enemies to lovers. Gotta love that. We also have Only Because It's You by Rebecca Faseha. Oh, I don't think I said that right. But you know what?
She will.
She will. Yes, she will. Thank heavens. I don't want to butcher her name, but let's learn a little bit more about Only Because It's You by this fabulous author whose last name will be pronounced by her. Thank heavens.
Hi there, my name is Rebecca Fasaha, and I am the author of Only Because It's You. Only Because It's You is a friends to lovers, marriage of convenience rom-com set in Toronto. A fun tidbit from writing this novel is when I was researching it, one of the places I went to was Toronto City Hall, where, of course, everybody at some point, everybody who gets married goes to City Hall to, do the legal part of their wedding ceremony. And I called ahead. I got an appointment with the officiant and the administrator to go and just tour the facilities, and which went fine. Everything went great. They were really gracious, and they showed me everything. They told me how everything goes. Obviously, I haven't gone through it myself. But the funny thing is, just as I was about to leave, a couple came in. Just the bride, the groom, and their photographer. And the photographer was also their friend. And they needed a witness. Of course, you need 2 witnesses to get married. At least in Ontario you do. I don't know how it is anywhere else. So they asked me, hey, do you want to be our witness? We need 1 more person. And I was just so flabbergasted, and they didn't mind that I was a complete stranger. So I said, sure, okay. So I ended up actually participating in a wedding ceremony when I had only gone in to do some research. So I wondered, like, because here I am doing research for a story about a marriage of convenience, and this couple comes in. It was a weekday. It was the middle of afternoon on a weekday. The bride is dressed in this beautiful, very simple white gown. I believe the groom was also wearing a very nice suit. It was not a tuxedo, but it was a suit. They were dressed very nicely, like, but of course the bride was more beautiful because brides are always more beautiful. And there was a question in the back of my head. I was like, but why are they by themselves though? Why is nobody else here though? What's going on? And I was the whole time really kind of subtly trying to get the vibe. Is this a favor between friends? Are they in love? But there was a moment when they started to exchange the vows that the bride like actually started crying, and I thought, oh, it's real. But then I was like, maybe she's crying because she's so thankful for the favor that he's doing her. So yeah, and I forgot to mention they were both like not Canadian born. Obviously, Canada, Toronto is a country, a city of immigrants. So based on their accents, I figured that they're immigrants. So that's why these questions were floating through my mind. Anyway, wherever they are, I wish them well. I hope they're happy. I hope it's real. And if it wasn't, I hope everybody got what they needed out of it and that everybody went their peaceful ways. That's my fun little anecdote from researching Only Because It's You. Thank you, and enjoy reading.
I mean, she's such a great storyteller. Just even that.
That's nice because I have a feeling I'm so cynical about marriage that if something like that happened to me, I'd just be looking at him and going, I don't want my fingerprints on this train wreck. And
yeah, I wonder that. I'm so curious now.
yeah,
Clearly,
well,
if
she
she's-
wrote the story, so
yes, I think that's super neat. And now that makes me want to read this even more. I love that. How
well, yeah, because
cool.
if that's how she tells this story about like a couple of hours out of her day,
Yes.
she's gonna do a great job telling this story. And it's set in Toronto, so we've got that CanCon we all know and love. And
Yeah.
I actually stayed at a hotel near City Hall in
Get out.
Toronto. It's beautiful.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. Stacy says, sorry, I stepped out for a few, but I keep winning, so I'm gonna buy a pile of lotto tickets. You better do that, Stacy. I
So
definitely
she missed the scoop. There was additional information, Stacy, on top of what I talked about yesterday.
Yes, but you know what? I have a feeling it's gonna come up again. So
Oh, and Stacy just Ajatu said she's actually read April Wilson and says that that's fun.
yes, it's true. It is true. We're learning so much.
I just wanted to highlight that in
I'm
case
so
she didn't get a
glad.
chance to watch the playback. She's the one who was after me for like,
Oh.
but you don't like people covers.
Oh, right. I love it. Oh,
It's
she's
true.
excited.
I mean,
Awesome. Oh my goodness. All right, we've also got historical fiction, which may have some romance in it. I decided to include it because I know many of us are also just in general historical fiction fans.
mhm.
This is The Florence Sisters, a war-torn city, a stolen masterpiece, Two Lives in the Balance by Tessa Harris. We also have another recent release, Nancy Thayer, who's made quite a name for herself. She has Summer Light on Nantucket. Looks perfect, but I want to be like, you can't be in the dunes. You can't do that. At least
That
not
doesn't end well.
No, it does not. Not good for the dunes. Here's the other purple one, Emily, also that I was talking about, The Chef and the Countess by Karen Gerard. So we get two gorgeous purple
Beautiful.
covers in 1 week, which I just love that. We also have The Summer of You and Me by Denise Hunter. This looks super fun.
Mm-hmm. I
And
love Ferris wheels, man.
I know. And it's giving me like Carly Fortune, Emily Henry, like one of those big
Well,
time
the Abby
summer.
Jimenez.
Yes. Well, yeah, that is exactly right. Yeah, the latest book of
Say
hers.
You'll Remember Me had the Ferris wheel on
Yeah,
the cover.
yeah, exactly. So there you go. It's got those vibes if you're looking for them. We also have A Showgirl's Rules for Falling in Love by
Oh,
Alice
that's
Murphy.
cool.
This is really cool. In fact, I think this is right up your alley, Sock. And I'm trying to remember if she's done a video for us. She actually did it. She changed the release date, or maybe it was the release of in the UK or something, but she gave me this video months ago. So now we get to watch it, and I'm trying to remember if she mentions the parts that I think you're going to especially like. If not, we might have to read it if we have time.
What a
'Cause, yeah,
chore.
I think you'll love it. Okay, let me go to the desktop. Here we go. All right, here's the video.
Do you love Moulin Rouge? Do you love Newsies? Are you a musical theater girly who loves plus size representation and dual timelines and just a celebration of the HEA, the happily ever after, forever and for everyone? Then A Showgirl's Rules for Falling in Love is for you. It comes out May 13th, 2025, so very shortly. Get your pre-orders in, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. Thank you for letting me share it, and I look forward to you all reading it.
Yeah, we'll have to read it. I want to say it's like an LGBTQIA plus release. I'm trying to remember now. We'll have to glance if there's time.
I'll take a look while.
Oh, good. Perfect. Yeah, because there's a lot to this, and I just remember being blown away by how much Alice Murphy accomplishes in this, what looks to be a super fun story. So very neat. We also have, let me go back over here. Oh, is that what I removed? Oopsie.
Do you love Moulin Rouge? Do you love...
It's one of those days. I removed the wrong thing. Oh, because this looks so similar to my other slides. That's why. Okay. We're going through these again. And there we are. The Showgirl's Rules for Falling in Love.
I just saw something.
What?
Well, when I was looking it up,
Yes.
it said that people who bought that also bought or read A Sure Thing.
See? I knew it. Man, did I call it? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. See, I think you're going to like it. Oh boy, I love that. We also have, as many people already know, because it's huge, Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life. Do you know, I have not read this yet. Normally I'm first in line to read all of her stuff, but I've not heard as stellar things about this, or some sentence that would have made sense close to that. Oops.
Well, speaking of show tunes, though, every time I see this title, I start singing A Great Big Beautiful Life. It's from Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And the actual song is Bless Your Beautiful Hide, but it works.
Yes. It sure
and it's
does.
like every time I see that title, show tune pops up.
Yes. I feel like the title is so vague. I'm like, oh, it's just like, what would you name this? Great Big Beautiful Life. Let's do it, But I mean, I've heard good things, but I have not heard. I mean, like, for example, where is it? I had to move these around. I remember when this came out, people lost their minds with how good this was. And I've enjoyed everything I've ever written. Wow. Good night. I cannot speak today. I've enjoyed everything that I've read by her, but yes, I've heard this is primarily like women's fiction as opposed to romance. And so I haven't been as excited.
She's kind of mixed bag for me, so.
Gotcha. We also have Kennedy Ryan, another huge powerhouse. Can't Get Enough is being released around now. I think it's out already. But yeah, I mean, I've heard fabulous things about her.
Emily has thoughts.
Emily has thoughts. Oh, good. I loved this the romance is the sun plot, but as long as you go into it with that beforehand, you shouldn't be disappointed. Okay.
I think that's subplot.
That makes more sense.
B and N are right next to each other.
Yes. I was like, oh, because it's sunny. No. Okay, the romance is a subplot. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you, Emily. I'm excited. Thank you. And yes, Kennedy Ryan's Can't Get Enough out around now as well. We also have Betty Cayuette's Tell Me How You Really Feel, which was recently released.
I think I saw that on the new releases table at Montgomery and Taggart, actually.
Did you? Yes, this one is one actually I got a chance to read. I think it's Forever Publishing, and I was excited to grab all their arcs. But yes, this one is about two people that own I guess they own it. They have a podcast about relationships, and it goes viral. They need to really sell it. Unfortunately, they've come to a point in their relationship where they hate one another. So this is sort of a second chance romance, coming to terms with the past, that type of situation. Forced proximity, workplace, all that good stuff. So yes, subplot. Gave it 4.5 stars. Excellent, Emily. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is great to know. This is great to know. Thank you. We also have Sabrina Jeffries' Hazardous to a Duke's Heart. This is part of the Lords of Hazard series. And she may at some point be getting us a video. She sounded excited, but she was funny. She's like, I'm not a big social media person. And as she goes, as you can see, I haven't really been on Facebook. And this was Instagram. So I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, if you don't know the difference between Facebook and Instagram.
Or she might have been
you're
saying,
probably not into it.
Instagram, I don't even know Facebook, and that's like the more famous platform. It's the older platform. So that might have been what she was thinking.
Sure.
A visitor.
Vi, hello. Passing through for a few minutes. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. We sure are, Vi, and we hope that you are also having a wonderful day. I'm glad you could come over.
Cameo.
Yeah, it's a cameo. I love it. I love it. We also have Lovesick by Deirdre Duncan. If you want to see a cutie patootie, all right, get ready, guys. Here comes Deirdre to talk about her book.
Hey, I'm Deirdre Duncan. I'm the author of Lovesick. This is my debut novel showcasing Grace and Julian. They are two rival OBGYN residents who kind of get off on the wrong foot, and they have to navigate the trials of a very malignant residency program while doing their best not to fall in love. The book is really sassy, it's really sexy, full of snark and angst. Between you and me, honestly, the only fiction is the love story. So if you want to know what it's really like to be a medical resident, you read this book. You can find Lovesick online and in stores, and I recommend supporting your local indie bookstore if you can. You can find me online on Instagram at Deirdre Duncan Writes. And I also have a newsletter where I announce my latest publishing news, next books, little snippets, things like that. So please sign up for that. And I really hope you enjoy Lovesick. Thank you.
Wasn't that fun?
You know what?
I
was watching, as she started talking, I thought she reminded me of Phoebe from Friends a little bit. Just her voice and everything. And then as she continued talking, I was like, no, it's if Phoebe from Friends somehow had a baby with Mary Steenburgen.
Oh, yes.
She was many decades ago. She was like Doc Brown's love interest in the third Back to the Future movie.
Oh,
for those of you trying to place her. Yeah.
I didn't even remember that about the third movie. Too funny. Love that you're bringing time travel into this, by the way, Sock. Well done.
Yeah, but she's just kind of like if Phoebe from Friends and Mary Steenburgen had a baby together.
There you go. I told her, though, I was like, you are so cute. Like, I love her hair and her nails, how they match the book. How fun. I've never seen that before, and I just love that. I think all authors should do that. Get their nails done just like their cover. I think that's so fun. But this looks like a really neat book. And I do enjoy a medical set or medically set romance. So I think that would be fun. So yes, let's head back over here. And I think I only have like one more. Oh, this is the last one. So this is Becky Hunter's You Make My Heart Stop, which came out recently. I have the arc. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. And so I'm looking forward to doing that next month. But this is a really intense one. I could not help myself though. I really wanted to read and see what happened because this is about a woman who has a medical condition in which her heart just stops. And thankfully they've been able to bring her back. I think it started when she was 5. But when she passes away briefly each time, she meets a gentleman who is, I guess, her soulmate, essentially. And Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen because
That is a team trope for Team Traveler.
it sure is. I'm excited about it. Yes, it's funny because I actually had this as one of the books that I could read for when my members were choosing my reads for this month, which they helped me with
Mhm.
several. But they did not pick this one, so I'm just going to
I
push
don't know.
it to
I
next
like
month.
that cover. I really I'm into that cover.
Yes, yeah, I'm dying to read this. And
Although
it's
I
going to
think
be
that railing is hazardously short.
true.
It's more the
Yes,
idea of a railing.
dangerous. Yes, very dangerous,
Well,
especially if it's too
it'll
long.
stop toddlers and very small dogs. So, that's the
Exactly.
important
Well,
thing.
that's what you need. That's what you need it for the most. So let's talk a little bit about the Ever Afterathon. We've been very pleased with how it's been going as time travelers or team traveler. It's been going extremely well. In fact, tomorrow night, the two team traveler co-captains, Tara and myself, are going to be having a reading sprints with friends Friday night.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I had forgotten
Cool
about
beans.
that actually, and I was glancing at the calendar because last night I was supposed to be interviewing Giovanna Siniscalchi, and like last minute she goes, "My child needs help with an essay, and is there any way we could do it for like 30 minutes?" And I was like, "If you want to just reschedule, we can do that too," because she was really stressing and she wanted to help her child with his or her homework. And so
Mhm.
anyway, so we're rescheduled to the end of the month, which is when her new book comes out. So it'll be perfect. But yeah, I was
Uh,
glancing at the calendar and that's when I saw, oh my gosh, Tara and I are doing something on Friday. Totally
well, the
forgot.
thing is on, I think it's the 26th, Monday at
Yes.
8 p.m. is the
Yes.
wrap up. The thing is, that's also my every other Monday book talk with Sock. And I
Okay.
didn't realize that there was already a wrap up scheduled. So I was like, because I was thinking, oh, I'll have an after party. However, I was looking at the
Oh.
schedule, and because book talk with Sock is at 7 and the wrap up is
Okay,
at
we're gonna
8. No, 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 no. This is good. Pre-gaming.
okay.
We
Are
could
you
just do
sure?
like a pre-party for
I
the
could
Ever.
that would be fun. Why don't want to I don't want to I could ask her to do a different day too.
No, 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 no. I'm just trying to figure out how I can fit book talk with Sock in. I can do that on a different date, especially if like some of the team captains want to be on or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
I
I could just
love
do it
the
as a
idea of an
pregame.
after party. I think that's so fun.
Well, that's kind of what the Ever Afterathon wrap up is, isn't it? Anyway, I was just thinking that instead, since that's at 8 and I'm usually at 7, I could just go ahead and do my thing, but have it short so
Okay.
that people could just like, get in the mood and
Yeah. Well, that'll
stuff
be
like that.
fun. That'll be fun.
We'll
Okay.
have to coordinate. We'll see if that can be done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Party all the
Uh,
time. She
we
must
love
be Eddie Murphy's girl if she wants to party all the time.
it.
There's a little 80s musical humor for you there.
There we go. We love it. We love that. Terry, hey. How are you
Bonjour.
doing? We haven't seen
Ça
you
va?
too. We're missing you. Oh, also, what are your thoughts for the challenge this week for the Ever Afterathon? I am not sure what I'm gonna do. I love the people that are like Team Cinderella. I feel like they've had a little bit of a
I have a cunning plan,
what is your
which
cunning plan?
combines a couple of my favorite things, which is buying new clothing
Okay.
and promoting Connecticut tourism.
Oh, interesting. Oh, is this a surprise we're gonna find out later?
I'm going to do a little location thing, but I should be getting the piece of my outfit that I need should be in today's deliveries. So
Excellent.
hopefully it fits. Otherwise, I'm boned, but I'll figure something out.
I know. I barely had a chance to even think about it. I know I'm grateful that we have, I think, until Sunday at midnight because yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I don't know. I
Kristen Lee
see
has
some
a
great ones on
suggestion.
on Discord and
Yeah,
Instagram. So I'll find
Kristen
it to
Lee has a
Warren. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Or an old telephone.
There's a
There you
furniture store near here that has an antique carousel.
go. Oh, that's fun.
Well, we
I think
actually that's in a town called Southington, and right like the next town over from Southington is Bristol, and
oh,
Bristol has a carousel museum, like a whole museum for carousels.
oh, that's so cool. I love
Just thought
that.
I'm not going to be using that one, but I thought I'd sneak that in here because visit Connecticut. visit ct.org or no, visit ct.gov.
There you go. Helping out tourism. Terry says, I think costuming your kids or pets doesn't or shouldn't be allowed. They're not the ones who read for the readathon, just saying. I have seen some cute costumes.
I think Silly is reading for the readathon. I'm reliably informed that she is Team Pirate.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so, yeah. Or maybe she went to a different subgenre because she's already read all the pirate books.
Oh, maybe. That could be. Too funny. Well, we are actually ahead on time. So is there anything that you would like to plug? Is there anything you want to bring up? Oh, I know. Oh, let me say something really quickly. I'm sorry, as I'm interrupting you from before you even get a chance to talk. Next Tuesday, we are going to have Tracy Sumner on. I'm so excited. And then the very last morning show of the season will be next Friday, which is my daughter's last day of preschool ever. So I'm going to be emotional. But
do they have like a little graduation ceremony?
Yes. They're doing it on Thursday, which is why I can still do Friday. So they're doing it on Thursday, and I'll be a mess. And I'm bringing my boys. We'll see how that goes.
And then when she graduates from medical school, you're going to have pictures of baby's first graduation.
That's right. That's right. But yes, on Friday, May 22nd. Is that the 22nd? I feel like I've been planning this for a while. Oh, no, it's the 23rd. Okay. So that day, we're going to have Jenny L. Spore on, and she was one that did a video for us months ago, and people went wild for it. She kind of did a more highfalutin, like tech type video, but she also was talking about the fact that she writes her historical romances in two different ways. There's I can't remember how she put it. I'll certainly remember before the interview, but it's like the closed bed curtains edition. Do you remember that at all? You may not. And
yeah.
But yeah, so she has two different kinds. She's going to send me some of them, which I'm really excited about. But I just think it's so neat that she writes the same kind of story, but just in two different ways so that everybody can just, find their happy place when it comes to historical romance. So yeah, I can't believe we're at the last week. We started in January. I feel like we just started and here we are in May. It's crazy.
January took about 100 years to get through. Everything else is going like that.
It's true. It is so true.
Yes, I think we're just about out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did have that new releases video that maybe you'll use at some point or maybe you won't.
Oh, wait. Okay, wait. How long is it?
It's like maybe 90 seconds or so.
Let's do it.
It's the new release table at Montgomery and Taggart, and my field trip and tour of that is now up on my YouTube channel at Bargain Counter Arguments. If you want to see that in more detail, but I did do a quick video of the new releases table. It's always the most recent releases, and this was a week ago. So these are from whatever Tuesday was that week. Let me see. That's not this past Tuesday, but the one before, the 6th. These are the new releases from the 6th of May. And I filmed it and then I didn't really have space to put it in the video. So
that's right. And I felt so silly because you're like, are you going to show this? Because I was like, oh, thanks for the video. And you're like, well, are you going to do anything with it? I was like, oh, and then I forgot again because I'm a genius.
It's not long. We can probably squeeze it in if you want to.
We're going to do it right now. I've got it right now. And thank you for your patience. Here we go. Saving the best for last. Okay, there it is. Boom.
Okay, and I'm going to take a closer look at the new releases table. Everything on this table was released last Tuesday. So we have some For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn, which I know at least a couple of people I am mutuals with on social media have had such good things to say about that. We've got the new Tia Williams, Time Loops and Meet Cutes, which I am interested in potentially reading at some point, but not today, and some other stuff, including a new edition of Love and Other Words. And this Cleo White, Charmed and Alarmed, she's going to be in the store tomorrow, which is Saturday, May 10th. And she's going to be here to sign books and meet the people. So I don't think I'm going to be here for that, but that's going to be fun for a lot of folks. And, ooh, a new Jennifer Hartman. I got to take a closer look at that one. Okay.
I love it. I love it. Now I need to go get that new Christina Lauren, Love in Other Words. It's one of my favorite
Well,
books of all time.
it's an older book, but it's in a new edition.
Yes. Well, and they do that when they're so amazing. They're
Yes.
so amazing. And this book is just one of my favorites of all time.
For those of you who have actually read the book, when I read it, I burned a candle I have called Pine and Paperbacks.
Ooh.
Which was perfect because they're in the woods and she has like a bunch of paperbacks, because if it exists and it's reasonably nice, there's a candle for it.
Wonderful. Oh, I love it.
Apparently Megan's saying that she's actually reading the book.
No
I think
way.
Is that For Whom the Bell Tolls?
Oh, we have to. The Austin at Sea book. I think.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. Okay.
I think so.
That's the one. Yeah.
Paige says, I want to read that one. Let me know how you like it. I love it. Oh, and Kristen says, I have all my packages ready for the mailman. She feels victorious. That's hard to do.
A one-person wave.
Yeah. Yes. Stacy says, side note, I'm going on vacay next week, and my first stop in a romance bookstore in Indiana called Slow Burn. I've been dying to go there. Oh, Stacy, you have to take pictures. Oh my gosh, how exciting. Oh boy.
Well, anyway, I do. If your appetite was whetted to see more of Montgomery and Taggart from that little short video,
yes,
like I said, my field trip video, which includes a bakery haul as well, is now up on my channel.
Yay! Perfect.
I promoted it so hard that people are just going to be like, "Is there any way I can like reverse see this, like not see it at all?"
Go back in time.
I've hyped it too much.
No, you haven't.
There's going to be like pushback, you know.
I'm excited and I love that. I love that video. Thank you again for reminding me, for Pete's sake. I tell you what.
Well, thank you for showing it. I appreciate you taking the time.
Says, watching your video next, Soxy. All right, so we'll do that.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
I love when you say that. So yeah, we're gonna head out. We'll come back hopefully tomorrow night if you guys are free. I don't know if you're in Europe, but I'm sorry it'll be so late, but I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Nope. Is that right? No. Yes? Eastern Daylight.
I don't know your schedule.
No, I mean EDT, Eastern Daylight Time, correct?
Yeah. That's why I always just say Eastern.
Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm going to say Eastern.
Yeah, just because because some people don't know what EDT is because they don't make the connection that EST is standard and EDT is daylight. So I just go with Eastern.
Yeah, good thinking. Okay, Eastern Time. 7 o'clock Eastern Time, I believe. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
I should be there.
Yay! Wonderful for fun reading sprints with friends for Ever Afterathon. I'm going to go pick up my daughter. Everyone have a lovely weekend. Hope to see you soon. Don't forget to catch Sock's video. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.